welcome the next president of these United States. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Bernie Sanders! Well, a lot has happened in a year. When we began this campaign, we were over 60 points behind Secretary Clinton in national polls. In the last few weeks, some of the polls had us ahead or a few points down. Over the last many months, we have won 17 primaries and caucuses throughout this country. And some 1,350 delegates to the Democratic National Convention. And maybe most importantly, and I hope that delegates going to the Democratic Convention pay heed to this. In every national poll done in the last month, we are defeating Donald Trump by much greater margins than Hillary Clinton. USA Today poll, Sanders 15 points up. GWU 10 points, Fox 14 points, CBS 17 points, McClatchy 20. In other words, we all agree, this is one thing that Secretary Clinton and I do agree on, we must not have a Republican in the White House. But I think the evidence is overwhelming that you are looking at the strongest Democratic candidate. And the reason for that is that our campaign is able to reach out beyond the Democratic base and win the support of millions of independents. And the other reason, which I think is obvious, and you are seeing it here today, this is the campaign that is generating excitement, enthusiasm, and a large voter turnout. The truth is, Republicans win elections when the people are demoralized and give up and voter turnout is low. Progressives and Democrats win elections when people are prepared to stand up, fight back, and that's what this campaign is about. Now, my view, if you take a hard look at the Republican agenda, it is hard to imagine anybody voting for that agenda.
True.
Now, unfortunately, the media does not often take a look at that agenda, so I will do that today. Now, different Republicans may have nuanced differences, but bottom line is virtually all of them, at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, their response is to provide hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks to the top 0.2% by repealing the estate tax. In a country in which are living in poverty. Billionaires like Donald Trump do not need tax breaks. But that's not all. Republicans want to give huge tax breaks to people who don't need it, but at the same time, most of them want to make devastating cuts to the programs that are keeping millions of people alive. Today, all over this country, in Oregon, in Vermont, all over this country, we've got disabled veterans and seniors trying to make it on $10,000 or $11,000 a year Social Security. Republicans want to cut Social Security. Republicans want to cut Medicare. They want to cut Medicaid. They want to cut federal aid to education. They want to cut food stamps for hungry children. They want to throw millions of people off of the Affordable Care Act, and they have no substitute for those millions of people who will lose their health insurance. Let's be clear. When you're throwing millions of people off of health insurance, some of those people will certainly die, and many others will become much sicker and suffer in a way that they did not have to. But that's what they want to do. Eliminate the Affordable Care Act. Millions of people lose their health insurance. Not a whit of concern for those people.
Asshole! We gotta stop them!
At a time when we are seeing an increasingly corrupt campaign finance system, what Republicans want to do is not overturn Citizens United. You know what they want to do? They want to end all campaign finance regulations so that billionaires can directly fund their candidates. You know, and I think we are reaching the day when you're going to have members of Congress with patches on their jackets, sponsored by the Koch brothers, sponsored by ExxonMobil, sponsored by the Pfizer drug company, because that is where the Republican Party is going. Now, right now, as a member of the Senate Committee on the Environment, I can tell you what all of you already know, and that is climate change is causing devastating problems in our country and the world. But you have a Republican Party that is rejecting science. Not one of the many Republicans who ran for president even acknowledged the reality of climate change, let alone a desire to transform our energy system.